I'm designing a 5-bedroom duplex from scratch, which is from blank Archicad to Lumion. I'm not just designing spaces, but explaining why it is. This is the one of the process. We start from Archicad blank file. So the first thing we'll do is to set up our Archicad. We don't just rush to start designing. We set up everything we need to set up, from the walls to the columns to the slab, even also to the stories. We have to set them up so that when we start designing, we won't start having some issues along the line. So the first thing I do is, first of all, because I work with my line, we go to the line tool and set it up and just change it to black. Then come back to the design and let's start with the walls. First of all, you change here to this. After that, okay, you change it to airspace frame. That's what I do, change my own to. Then go to the floor plan section, and under this override cut fill pens, you choose the foreground. Under the foreground, you choose the white pen, which is the 19.0 mm for a pen. After that is okay for our wall. Then we'll go over to the size of the wall. Under the wall, change it to 225. Then under the paint, we change it to normal white. I always choose glossy white, and everybody has to have a shade. Okay, as we are done with our wall, we'll go over to our slab. We'll do the same thing on our slab by adjusting the kind of slab it is. So we'll choose this one. And I think that's all for now. Because in your slab, you always try to, because the slab for the ground, like for the slab for the ground is different from the slab for the weekend, for the area. Okay, man. So let's just go over to the story level under the story settings. Because the reason why I want to do story settings, which is for today, tomorrow we'll continue on our settings, is let me just draw a wall here. Okay, and let's say slab from here and move over to the first floor. So most times for first and beginners, where you come on your first floor, you notice you're not saying anything. There are two ways to see it. When you want to try to see other one, you just use this, or you right click and go for trace. Then under trace, you go for choose reference. Now there are two types. If I'll teach you this later, let's just focus on how to arrange our Archicad before we start designing and everything. Okay, we go to on the first floor, we have to just put down a slab. I'm about to show you reasons. Let's go to our south elevation. Under the south elevation, you will notice that from the ground floor to here is 3,000. But because of the slab came under the wall, like you see something here. So from here to here is 3,000. But this slab was eating up 300, reducing the standard height of our room, the headroom, the standard headroom. I don't want to start making it like using my hand to do the thing. We have to just go to the settings, which is the story settings, and start arranging everything. So under this elevation, you just change it. You know, say our slab is 300, so you just change it to 3,003. Okay. We also come here and change this to 6,003. Right? And everything will start with it. Now we have worked on our story, so it is now normal 3,003. Everything is 3,000. Everything, the headroom is now 3,000. Now we are done with that. So the next thing we have to do is now our site plan. Let's just assume our site plan is a 19 by 30 floor plan, 19 by 30 site plan. So I will go to my line tool, because that's when you're using your line tool to decide, it gives you the exact measurements for anything you're designing, be it your room, be it your living room, your store. It will give you the exact measurements. So let's say 30 by 19 by 30 meters. So you click M, or you just start clicking anything beside it. So this is 19,000 millimeter by 30,000 millimeter. One plot of land. 1.2 plot of land. Okay, now we have gotten this. This is our site plan. You already know that we have to do what we call setback, but we won't be doing that for now. We'll just be showing how we want to do it. Now, our setback for this now, as usual, we always get for the front. On the front view, we measure 6 meters from there, and measure 3 meters from here, and measure 1.2 from here, measure 1.2 from here. But we'll be doing that on the next process, C and D2.